Hello, everyone. I am Alden Gagnon, she, her of Alden's Energy Healing. And this is a by proxy crystal Reiki healing with ASMR elements for releasing limiting beliefs and honoring your Chiron wounds. And thank you so much to my Alden's Mystical Haven members who, after this live stream is over, will be the ones who have access to this healing for this first month afterwards. And then in mid-March, it will go public. So thank you to my Alden's Mystical Haven member supporters. And thank you also to everyone in the general Alden's Energy Healing community. So for those of you who don't know, Chiron in astrology is known as the wounded healer, and he is someone who could heal others but not necessarily heal himself. And the Chiron points in astrology signify where maybe we have limiting beliefs or items and things that we need to work through. He represents our vulnerability, but through embracing and healing these vulnerabilities, they can be our greatest strengths. For example, I have Chiron in Virgo. And so that indicates that one can have issues with perfectionism, overthinking, and also health issues. And I definitely have in the past really struggled with perfectionism. And I really have had to release the need to be perfect. And even in like posting these videos, going live is a huge way that I release that perfectionism, because I can't go back and record something 80 times or edit something when I'm going live. I just have to go. And also the health issues I have dealt with, like my premenstrual dysphoric disorder and my polycystic ovarian syndrome, those things are the reasons I got into Reiki and the reasons why I'm so passionate about womb healing and energetic healing and energy work, because that has really supported me in tending to my nervous system and symptom management. So again, these wounds are things that help me help the world. So Chiron is really your guide to cosmic healing and self-discovery and tending to yourself and really like leaning into your vulnerabilities, embracing the messiness, the parts of yourself you might want to hide, and learning how to honor those, move through those, and release those limiting beliefs so that you can like be the best version of yourself. And that is what I love so much about Chiron. Pardon me. I didn't realize I usually have do not disturb on like all the time. So I'm going to get us started, and then I'm going to talk through all of the Chiron placements and all of the houses while I do some energy clearing and smoke cleansing on your field. And then I have crystals for Chiron that I will work to help release limiting beliefs, support self-love, release overthinking, and I also have my drum here today to help really we'll just do some drumming to really shed those limiting beliefs. And as I am talking about Chiron in the different zodiac signs, if you know where your Chiron is, you can take some of those concepts about Chiron in the signs and use them as we are doing the releasing ritual to release those facets. Alrighty, so let's get started. So here I have this lovely Lilith candle, which I used a lot in energy alchemy as well. I think of Lilith as like tandem to Chiron. So I thought it would be nice, some of the shadow work we're doing today. And thank you to everyone who's here watching live. I see your little person numbers in the corner. And thank you to everyone who's also watching the replay. If you happen to know where your Chiron is, please do comment below what zodiac your Chiron is in, what sign, and also what limiting beliefs you would like to release today with this session, either or both and. We call upon our healed, wise, and well ancestors, the energetics of Chiron, of the stars, the Syrian galactic blue light of Jasper, Reiki, crystal medicine, our angels, our animal allies, our spirit guides, and all other high vibrational entities who are here today, who are light at their core to support us in this session. We pray that this session today is correct and for the good of all through space and time, and that everyone may take away only that which is for their highest good during this session. And we pray that we release all that is for our highest good so that we may step into our highest timelines, honoring our vulnerabilities as ways that we can help and support other people while also healing and nurturing ourselves. The circle is now cast, and so it is, and so it is, and so it is. Lovely. Now I have some garden sage from my aunt's garden that she gave to me. I love it. Putting it in my cauldron here. I'm going to sain or bless your field, setting a space of protection, sacredness, and light. As above, so below. Also setting the space around myself as well. And if you haven't looked up what your Chiron point is, that's totally okay. You don't need to know it to get benefit from this session. You can just think of limiting beliefs that have been impacting you in your life and that you want to release. And if you do want to look up Chiron in your birth chart, it looks like the K symbol or like a little key. Just smoke cleansing here. Lovely. And now I have some Scots pine incense, which is great for connecting to our intuition. Now further tapping into your field with the Reiki, so you can think or say out loud, I receive the Reiki. I receive the Reiki. I receive the Reiki. Wonderful. And I'm also going to place the symbol of transmutation at all of your main energy centers, especially because we are working with Chiron, which is such a transformational placement. I want to really be able to help support the release of these blockages. Yeah. And if you haven't already and you want to, make sure to get yourself in a comfortable, cozy position so you can receive the healing. But of course, you're also welcome to receive this, to really listen to the messages more consciously. If you're like on a walk or doing the dishes or something, just don't totally go into la la land if you're in a position where you need to be more alert. Wonderful. There we go. Yeah, a lot of limiting beliefs to shed. I can feel that in the field. Just lighting another little piece of the herb here because I was having trouble getting the other one lit, and I really do want to smoke cleanse your field. Okay, there we go. Now it's going. All right. So, speaking a little bit about the different placements of where Chiron is in the zodiac signs and what they mean. And I'm intuitively feeling to just like sprinkle them throughout the healing. So, there isn't going to be like a block where I talk about them. It's really going to be more sprinkled throughout, but I will start with Aries and go through in order. So, Chiron and Aries may indicate wounds related to self identity, assertiveness, and independence. Individuals may struggle with asserting themselves or may have experienced challenges in expressing their individuality. And Chiron in Taurus, moving on to Taurus, may indicate wounds related to self worth, material security, and stability. Individuals with Chiron and Taurus may grapple with issues surrounding financial security, possessiveness, or feelings of unworthiness. Feeling like that's resonating with a lot of people. And I really just want to remind everyone that this isn't meant to be like depressing or disempowering. It's meant to be like shadow work is important. Wow, this piece is really going now. Shadow work is meant to be something to notice that are the places in our lives we need to work on, and then use that noticing to empower ourselves to heal and support ourselves. Now, for Gemini, Chiron and Gemini may indicate wounds related to communications. I'm getting a lot of stuff in the throat chakra here, learning and social connections. Individuals with Chiron and Gemini may struggle with expressing themselves effectively and may have experienced difficulties forming meaningful relationships or may feel insecure about their intellectual abilities. And so now I'm going to start with these two lovely pieces of snowflake obsidian. And snowflake obsidian is great for releasing anything that no longer serves us, as well as sort of like reaching beyond the veil and clearing things from past lives, from inner child wounds, from ancestral stuff. Now for Cancer, with Chiron and Cancer, this may indicate wounds related to emotional security, family dynamics, and nurturing or lack thereof. Individuals may have experienced some childhood traumas or challenges within your family environments and your home, leading to deep-seated emotional wounds. Really feeling that in the heart, so just spiraling Reiki into your heart. Chiron and Leo may indicate wounds related to self-expression, creativity, and recognition. Individuals with Chiron and Leo may struggle with self-confidence and seek validation from others, or may have experienced setbacks pursuing their creative passions. Really releasing that out of your heart chakra there, which makes sense. I was feeling that as I was discussing that because Leo is associated with the heart. And now we have Chiron and Virgo. And Chiron and Virgo may indicate wounds related to perfectionism, health, and service. You may grapple with feelings of inadequacy, not feeling enough has been a big one for me with my Chiron and Virgo. You may be overly critical with yourself, a lot of negative self-talk, or overly critical with others. The way this manifested for me is I really was harshly critical of myself, and I wouldn't let myself be critical of others. So then I turned it even more inward on myself. And also, Chiron and Virgo may have experienced health related challenges, as I mentioned before. Really taking, I know this is a lot of heavy stuff that I'm discussing, and I do want to say that there is a beauty to the Chiron placements, like I was talking about, because it's your vulnerability and the space where you can heal and the space where you have strength and where you can really transmute these things that are your limiting beliefs and be like, okay, if I am perfectionistic, how can I work on releasing this perfectionism? Or if I have deep-seated emotional wounds, how can I work on healing that? And, going to therapy and nurturing my inner child and supporting myself. Or if you have struggles with you feel you have struggles with your intellect, how can you maybe take some fun online courses that you can learn at a pace that feels yummy for you and reset your relationship to learning and intellectualism. So there are ways we can really take these wounds and transmute them and use them as our strength, even though that might feel hard in the moment. And of course, as always, where I'm going through the signs as I'm sending you the Reiki and healing with the snowflake obsidian, and also the houses your placements are in and other aspects you have impacted. So this is by no means comprehensive, but it's just nice to touch on these themes and learn more about ourselves. Swirling these at your heart. Now, Chiron in Libra may indicate wounds related to relationships, balance, and harmony. Individuals may struggle with codependency, difficulty in establishing boundaries, or may have experienced challenges in forming equitable partnerships. Scorpio. Chiron in Scorpio may indicate wounds related to power dynamics, intimacy, and transformation. Individuals may have experienced betrayal, abandonment, or may struggle with issues related to trust and vulnerability, which is sort of an interesting paradox. Chiron is your vulnerability, but when you have Chiron and Scorpio, you struggle with vulnerability. Placing both of these at your palms. And now I have this piece of smoky quartz and citrine. And smoky quartz is nice. Well, it's really smoky citrine. Smoky quartz is nice for Chiron because it helps really cut through illusions and reveal hidden truths to help you heal these deep-seated fears, wounds, and subconscious programming that might be holding you back from living as your true self. And then citrine is also lovely because it's associated with abundance and prosperity, really your solar plexus chakra, wealth. And it's nice because it helps release those scarcity and fear mindsets and brings positive energy into your life, as well as boosting confidence and self-worth. So I really like this smoky citrine because it kind of clears stuff out and then brings the positive energy in, All right, 4 more placements, and then we'll really dive into the healing. Chiron in Sagittarius may indicate wounds related to beliefs, philosophies, and expansion. Individuals may grapple with existential questions, may have experienced setbacks in pursuing higher education or travel, and may struggle with feelings of aimlessness in life. Just working with this in your solar plexus chakra. Chiron in Capricorn may indicate wounds related to authority, responsibility, and achievement. Individuals with Chiron in Capricorn may struggle with issues of self-discipline and may navigate challenges in figuring out what societal expectations are around them, or be confused with societal structures of life, the structure of how society works doesn't make sense to them and really feels like it's working against them all the time, or may feel burdened by their responsibilities. Cutting some cords in your solar plexus, clearing sense of self-worth out, maybe times that you felt not enough, you felt not held, you felt not supported. Rum. Rum. Now working up at your third eye and crown with the smoky citrine. And it feels potent to move to Aquarius and Pisces as we're working in these upper two chakras because they live here so much. Chiron and Aquarius may indicate wounds related to individuality, community, and innovation. People who have their Chiron and Aquarius may feel like outsiders or loners, or like they don't have a strong community or fit into social norms. They may also experience challenges expressing their unique perspectives, or like not, even if they do express them, like not having people accept them. So something that's coming through really strong for this Chiron and Aquarius is like honoring your viewpoints and being like, okay, just because someone doesn't agree with me doesn't mean I'm wrong or they're wrong. Like giving your, similar to like Chiron and Leo, giving yourself your own validation and honoring yourself. Now, last but not least, Chiron in Pisces may indicate wounds related to spirituality, self-compassion, and boundaries with others. You may also struggle with feelings of escapism, have difficulty discerning reality from illusion, or like really feel overwhelmed by the suffering of the world, and like especially with everything that is going on in the world currently, and also just as always going on in the world. This sense of like wanting to help everyone and feeling really discouraged because you can't. And something that's coming through from spirit is really being like, hey, let's help within your community, almost like take a step back into more of a, as a Pisces, like take a step back into an Aquarius energy and focus on community care, and that can help with your Chiron and Pisces. Wonderful. And now I'm actually feeling intuitively called to go back through all of the signs again. And really, as I continue to work on your field with the crystals and the Reiki, I'm going to channel messages from Chiron for each of the signs and really ask Chiron how you can empower yourself through your Chiron placement in your zodiac sign, like just like one very actionable thing as I'm working on your field. Oh, interesting. They're asking that I go backwards. So I'm going to start with Pisces. And here we have lepidolite, which is really, really great for calming anxiety. It's also great for the third eye and the crown. And so I'm working it in your field here to help release limiting beliefs. And for Chiron and Pisces, really, Chiron and Spirit are saying like learning how to set boundaries to prevent burnout. Set boundaries to prevent burnout and focus on community care is what Spirit is really saying to help work with and honor, but also mitigate your Chiron and Pisces. And for Chiron and Aquarius, I actually kind of already touched on this by talking about like honoring your own self-beliefs and not depending on others' approval or like community approval for support. And it's interesting because I'm really getting this image for all of the Chiron placements, like looking at the placement before yours. So for Pisces, looking at Aquarius, for Aquarius, looking at Capricorn, and taking a strong quality of the zodiac sign before your Chiron placement to really utilize a sense of empowerment there. So for Aquarius, they're saying focusing on standing your ground, standing on your own 2 feet, and like they're really saying believing yourself and believing for yourself, which is an interesting phrase. And now for Capricorn, especially because they're saying, and they're wanting me to work a little lower in your field at your root with this lepidolite here as I talk about this. For Capricorn, they're saying, again, looking back one sign, since you might be feeling overburdened with responsibilities with your Chiron and Capricorn, really focus on having more fun, having more joy, like literally booking a trip just because on a weekend, or taking time to learn just for fun, take an online course just for fun, expand your mind just for fun, and release the idea that you have to be doing all the time to be worthy, they're saying. Yeah, now taking that lepidolite and expanding it through your whole field. And thank you to Chiron and Spirit for channeling these messages for us. It's feeling good. I was like reading the write-up of the Chiron wounds, and I was like, oh, this is so depressing. Like, I don't like the vibe this is bringing, and not in a spiritually bypassing way, but in a way that I was like, this isn't the angle I necessarily want to come at Chiron from, So it's the write-up that I read that I had was important to note. And I'm really liking where we're taking this now, of learning how to empower oneself through the Chiron point. So Chiron in Sagittarius, and I'm moving up to the throat here. What they're saying for Chiron in Sagittarius is really taking time to go deep. They're saying Chiron and Sagittarius can be a way too surface level. And again, taking lessons from Scorpio, like taking the time to go deep and do the shadow work and honoring the parts of yourself that you maybe don't want to look at will actually give you the discipline that you need to support yourself. Now moving down to the heart with this lepidolite. And for Scorpio, they're really showing me, Chiron and Scorpio, they're really showing me relationship and heart healing. I was drawn to go down to the heart, and they're saying, find ways that you can find more trust and balance in your life. So like maybe couples therapy, or they're showing art therapy as well for Chiron and Scorpio. And now for Chiron in Libra. Again, similar to Pisces, the difficulty with establishing the boundaries and the codependency. So really they're saying leaning more into self-trust and leaning more into saying no. And just kind of like knowing it can be scary, but practicing that because it's a way of honoring and taking care of yourself. And it's interesting because the sign before Libra is Virgo, which is so earthy and boundaried. And now Chiron and Virgo, and this is a message for me too, Moving down to the sacral chakra here with the lepidolite. Chiron and Virgo, Chiron and Spirit are saying is slow the F down. They're saying you don't have to do everything to prove that you're enough. You don't have to overwhelm and overwork yourself to prove that you're worthy. Again, learning lessons from the positive aspects of Leo, the light aspects of Leo. Have fun. How within your work can you have fun and joy and creativity? Focus on that. Also resting, especially because Chiron and Virgo tends to have health issues, like finding joy in resting, which can be so hard. And just on a personal note, how I do that is I literally receive my own energy healings. And I literally allow myself to rest while I receive healing, and that makes it fun for me. And then I don't push as hard. And also giving yourself your own self-approval and self-love. Which now I will take the lepidolite, placing it at your third eye. I'm being called to bring in this rose quartz, which is great for Chiron because it is really the stone of unconditional love, supporting emotional wounds and like healing those emotional wounds as well. It's great to sleep with rose quartz like under your pillow to support those limiting beliefs, especially if they're more rooted in self-doubt. Or support releasing those limiting beliefs, I should say. Because a huge part of my personal limiting belief journey has been stepping more into self-love and releasing, like I mentioned before, releasing a lot of hypercritical self-talk. And rose quartz has been a huge ally in that journey for me. Here at your heart with the rose quartz, really blanketing you in the unconditional light of self-love and unconditional love of the universe. And if any of these messages I'm getting for spirit are resonating with you, please comment below and message what ones are resonating with you specifically and why, because I'm just genuinely curious, because the messages I'm getting are so specific. I feel like this is more of a like a mediumship and channeling session than anything. And I would just love to know if it supported you and resonated. All right, now for Chiron and Leo. Because Chiron and Spirit are really showing me the wounds around creativity and self-expression, like we were talking about earlier. And they're saying when you have these issues like putting yourself outward, go inward, go home, nurture yourself emotionally, support yourself emotionally, validate yourself, and then you won't care as much. They're not saying you won't care totally, but you won't care as much about what others think. Giving yourself self-approval and going inward and going home. And like, honestly, like I'm seeing like making creativity just for yourself. That's actually something I've had to do personally a lot with singing. Because I had to like learn how to like sing again for myself instead of like for some sort of theater performance, you know? Moving up into Cancer, working here also at the high heart, the upper heart chakra, and interweaving into the throat and the heart. And for Chiron and Cancer, they're really showing the healing. Spirit and Chiron are showing the healing of your Chiron and Cancer as connecting to community. Like if you have these deep emotional wounds or childhood traumas, you might not feel safe with your birth family, or even your family you grew up in, I should say. And they're really showing like the importance of chosen family. And I got chills when I said that, the importance of chosen family, and family not necessarily, not, it can be related by blood, but not necessarily related by blood, that expands you and heals your heart and supports you and nurtures you. And like nurturing these meaningful relationships and these connections are a way to heal your Chiron and Cancer. And again, that's looking back to the Chiron, or to the positive light aspects of Gemini. It's very interesting. They're really showing me like reaching back one sign to heal that sign's Chiron. And now Chiron and Gemini with these communication and expression wounds again. I'm really seeing, I think I kind of mentioned this already, but like taking a class that grounds you. They're actually showing me you like putting your hands in the earth, like even take like a gardening class. This is very specific, but taking a gardening class to really allow yourself to feel into the earth, to feel grounded, especially because Gemini energy is like so airy and floaty. So with Chiron and Gemini, like really allowing yourself to learn in ways and express yourself in ways that feel safe for you, feel grounded for you, and bring you joy. And Spirit is really saying, like, you don't have to share that with anyone else. It can be just for you. You know, that's a very beautiful part about this. A lot of this work is very internal and personal. Doing some light weaving here at your throat. Yeah, I definitely want to keep this rose quartz. So I'm talking about Chiron and Taurus, which is about self-worth and financial things. And Spirit's really showing me like taking action on your self-worth. They're saying, so what are actionable things that you can do to show yourself that you are worthy? And these don't have to be things that cost money, especially because Chiron and Taurus can have some financial issues. It can be things that are just, they're saying vibrationally in the frequency of abundance and love. So they're literally showing me like placing a rose quartz on your heart and breathing into the frequency of rose quartz and breathing into that frequency of unconditional love, self-worth, abundance. You have the smoky citrine on your field. Smoky citrine, even the energy of it and the astral could also be great to work with on your solar plexus to ground into that self-worth and that authentic self-confidence. So they're really showing like practices that build your self-worth. I'm even getting like mantras and affirmations, but I feel like because Taurian is such a physical grounded sign, and the sign before is Aries, so taking action using affirmations or crystals to really ground in your self-worth. Maybe even tapping, connecting with your body through tapping, like I am enough, I am abundant, I am healed, I am well, I am whole. EFT tapping. If you don't know what that is, you can Google it. There's lots of resources on it. Would be really great for Chiron and Taurus. And now we've gone all the way back. We are at Chiron in Aries. And so feeling at the crown here, struggle. If you're struggling with asserting yourself and individuality and independence, they're actually showing me focusing on softening and releasing. And they're showing like connecting with water, maybe taking a lot of baths would be good for you, would be an actionable thing. They're also showing me blue calcite as a crystal if you have your Chiron in Aries, because it can help with supporting softness, they're saying. And it also can help you with softer, more gentle, more loving communication so that you don't have too much of like that sort of Mars intensity as you're communicating. So that way they're saying that people can hear the content of what you're saying more. And that is, so baths and blue calcite are some actionable things for you as a Chiron in Aries. And thank you so much to Chiron and Spirit for sending those messages through me. And I hope that I was a clear vessel to be able to support those messages. And I hope you enjoyed those. Again, let me know if they resonate below. So now I have a couple more crystals here I'm going to work with, and then I'm going to do the drum. And this is way longer than I was planning on making the session, but so much wanted to come through. So I hope you enjoy. And I am just swirling here at your heart chakra with the rose quartz. I hope that some of this resonated with you so that you can like consider what limiting beliefs you are clearing, what limiting beliefs you are releasing here in this session. And now I'm just filling up any vacant space with deep self-love, deep self-nurturance, deep self-support and healing and care. Up to your throat, light weaving that, up to your third eye and up to your crown, and now cascading it all down and through. Lovely. And now back up to your root from the ground and to your sacral and to your solar plexus. Now light weaving that to your heart and expanding outwards. And beaming the pink sparkling light of unconditional love right to your heart. Lovely, placing that on your heart chakra in your field. Now I'm just scooting back so the drum isn't too loud for you. And now I'm using my Welsh drum towards the tail end of this session to not only help you get back into your body, but also because it's really great, it resonates through the whole field with its vibrations and it releases things. So thinking of these limiting beliefs you want to release, we talked a lot about them. So I would think you would have at least one, and just imagining them being sloughed off. You can even see it as like, sometimes I see it as like paint peeling off of a wall and releasing off of a wall, or like sludge being removed, and just giving that to Mother Earth. Releasing limiting beliefs and Chiron wounds through space and time for the highest good of all. Chiron in all places, in all houses, in all aspects. Honoring our vulnerabilities and honoring how far we've come. We now release these limiting beliefs and make space for deep healing and soul connection, as well as giving ourselves approval from the unconditional love in our hearts that then expands out to others. Thank you. Wonderful. So it is. I hope that was an okay volume. I can't control the volume as much here on YouTube, but that also is my Chiron and Virgo perfectionism coming through a little bit. So now, last but not least, I have this Labradorite, and Spirit really just wants me to cloak your field with this Labradorite, really sealing in the healing, fully protecting your energy. And I'm also getting off some, just like sloughing off a little bit of debris that was sort of shaken loose by the drum, which we love. And I know that for some of the Chiron placements, the actionable steps were to work with affirmations, really work with self-love. And I do have a freebie download, 14 affirmations for self-love. They can be used as phone backgrounds. You can print them out and stick them on your mirror. So I will put that link below if that is calling to you to utilize those affirmations, no matter your Chiron placement. Because I think what's super important as we're releasing limiting beliefs is not to just focus on shedding the limiting beliefs, but also filling in the vacuum, filling in the empty space with positive self-talk and healing self-talk and a deeper relationship with self-love and relationship with ourself. And this actually really ties in with the In Venus Veritas interview I had with Susanna Perry of Stargazer Astrology yesterday. We recorded it, which if you haven't listened to that, definitely do. It's on my YouTube channel. It's very interesting because she talks so much about how your relationship with your Venus placement can support self-love. So, but Venus is already such a loving, sensual sign. I feel like Chiron is really more those wounds, but working in them with them in tandem can help bring you to deeper healing, in my personal opinion. So I hope this session served you. Sealing in the field. Cutting all cords through space and time. Sending all of your energy back to you. Feeling your heart settling, your soul settling into your heart space. We are very grateful and we thank Source Energy, Crystal Medicine, our healed, wise, and well ancestors, the Syrian galactic blue light of Jasper, Chiron Energy, Spirit, and all other high vibrational entities who are light at their core, who are here today to support us in this healing. You may now leave. Thank you so much for being here. Goodbye. And we pray that this healing is correct and for the good of all through space and time, and that everyone who comes into contact with this healing may have deep healing work done and only have positive, self-love, supportive, energetically expansive takeaways from this, and be called to do the deeper soul healing work that can help bring them to greater authenticity and living their highest timeline. We pray that this healing is correct and for the good of all, and that everything I channeled was for the highest good. Thank you so much for being here. The circle is now open but unbroken, and so it is, and so it is, and so it is. Wonderful. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you again to my members of Alden's Mystical Haven for being here. And if you would like to join Alden's Mystical Haven, which is my YouTube membership, you can check that out below. And if you would also like the free self-love affirmations, they're linked below in the description. And I will also put them in the comments just because Spirit towards the tail end was like, yeah, so people could really use those. Those would be great action items. I'm especially getting for like the Chiron and Taurus and the Chiron in Leo, they're showing me. So, but all Chiron placements could work for it. I hope you have a blessed day. I will see you later this month for a wonderful crystal healing for chakras, as well as next month for a crystal healing for star seeds that I have. And then there are also going to be a couple interviews next month that I'm really excited about. So I can't wait to see you in the Alden's Energy Healing community, and I hope to see you in Alden's Mystical Haven as well. All right, bye. Thank you, everyone.